Becket's work in the religious liberty movement has been transformative.
I can't say enough about the leadership, the roster of attorneys, the people who work there.
Yeah, they're a band of happy warriors.
The things about Supreme Court practice is you're not supposed to win all your cases, but Becket comes awfully close to winning all its cases.
Yeah, I don't know. When's the last time they lost at the court? I don't know.
The Becket Fund has also been great at making clear that religious liberty is for all.
Letting people know, we care about religion from A to Z, from the Amish to the Zoroastrians.
Anglicans to Zoroastrians.
Okay.
They might catch that. So.
From the Anglicans to the Zoroastrians.
You could say that Becket was sort of born from Notre Dame because Seamus did a master's in theology at Notre Dame and then went from there to Notre Dame Law. And he started thinking about the need for a public interest law firm that would really exist for one reason, to ensure the religious freedom of people of all faiths.
We like to say that we educate a different kind of lawyer, and I think Seamus is a different kind of lawyer. I like to think he got his inspiration being at Notre Dame and walking around and seeing the lady on the dome every day.
Religious liberty lawyers, he thinks of them as sort of the offensive linemen. It's their job to blow the hole, to create the space so that religious believers and religious institutions can flourish in the midst of the culture, can do what they're supposed to do.
When Becket was first formed, where the law was on religious liberty was not a particularly happy place. A large part of that was the product of the dreaded Lemon Test from 1973 that really put the thumb on the scale against religious liberty.
What was happening in the culture was that religion was being privatized. It was being pushed out of the public square.
Most of the Supreme Court decisions had been Establishment Clause decisions that erected the proverbial high wall of separation between church and state.
The law was underdeveloped. It was anemic. There hadn't been any oxygen given to that.
But change was clearly in the air. I think the doctrine was starting to move in some directions that were more appreciative of the foundational nature of religious freedom. The Becket Fund leaned into that at the very beginning.
I think Becket gets not just the what in terms of securing victories for religious liberty in the courts, it also gets the why, that ultimately it's about the dignity of the human person. And that resonates across religious differences, across ideologies.
Is sort of the NAACP for religious liberty, bringing together top-notch talent, top-notch lawyers, and really thinking strategically about how to advance the cause of religious freedom.
It's vision-driven, and it looks to select cases that are going to allow them to really shape the law in the way that it needs to go.
Through a series of well-chosen cases with very sympathetic plaintiffs and frankly very unsympathetic government actors, Becket has been able to really change that focus to the point where not only has the Supreme Court overruled the Lemon Test, but case after case in the Supreme Court has not been focused on the Establishment Clause, but has really been more focused on the Free Exercise Clause and vindicating the rights of religious organizations. It's a very different world from when Becket was formed.
They've been able to land a bunch of 9-0 wins at the Supreme Court, which wins are nice, 9-0 wins are even better.
Fulton v. City of Philadelphia, you have Holt v. Hobbs, you have Hobby Lobby, you have Our Lady of Guadalupe, just recently the Mahmoud case. These are the cases that students are studying today, and they're the cases that are going to shape religious freedom law going forward. I think one critical aspect of Becket's leadership here is how much they seem to care about building up a real movement, a real community of lawyers and scholars and students who understand and appreciate and fight for these rights.
They do that in their litigation as well as their wider witness to the culture at large.
I think they really are the trailblazer, building up this area of specialized, deep expertise in this particular area of constitutional law.
I think that there is no organization in the United States that has done more and accomplished more to advance the cause of religious liberty in the courts and in the courts of public opinion.
Where would we be as a culture, as a legal community, if Becket did not exist? And I think the quality of work, the strategic approach to the law, the integrity, the rootedness in principle, that's what Notre Dame strives for, looking to build legal advocates, to shape legal advocates who are going to come out and change the world. And so I look at what Becket has done, and I think Becket has changed the world.